Welcome to the McNeese Government Relations Podcast Series. In this video podcast, attorney Kathleen Bruder reviews the Bicameral Nuclear Energy Caucus report, detailing the NEC's findings on nuclear energy issues during the 2017-2018 legislative session. Ms. Bruder practices in the government relations, labor and employment, and public sector practice groups at McNeese.
On November 29, 2018, the Pennsylvania's General Assembly's Nuclear Energy Caucus, also referred to as the caucus, released the Bicameral Nuclear Energy Caucus report. That details the caucus's findings on nuclear energy issues during the 2017-18 legislative session. The report finds that Pennsylvania's 5 nuclear plants provide numerous benefits, including supporting jobs, providing zero-emissions energy, moderating electricity prices, and ensuring grid resilience and reliability. As a result, to avoid adverse employment, economic, and environmental impacts associated with the premature closures of Pennsylvania's nuclear facilities, the report suggests that Pennsylvania has 4 options to determine the future of its nuclear industry. 1, they can do nothing and leave Pennsylvania's clean energy resources, including its nuclear plants, on a trajectory to early retirement. This effectively would allow PJM to dictate the mix of resources serving the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. 2, modify the Alternative Energy Portfolio Standards, or also known as AEPS, or establish a zero-emission credit, or ZEC program, to put nuclear generation on equal footing with other zero-emission electric generation resources in Pennsylvania. 3, modify the AEPS or establish a ZEC program with a safety valve mechanism that, depending upon the outcome of the FERC proceeding, would allow Pennsylvania to adopt a new capacity construct proposed by FERC that is designed to accommodate state programs to support preferred generation resources. 4th, establish a Pennsylvania carbon pricing program. Despite the detail in this report, several questions remain unanswered and issues remain unaddressed. First, the report does not specify the amount of subsidies that nuclear generators should receive or that the nuclear power plants have requested. Any policy decision by state leaders must include an analysis of the cost to consumers and taxpayers and the potential impact on employment and investment in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We have asked state leaders and legislators to look at the significant cost to consumers in other states, like New Jersey, and consider that the cost in Pennsylvania would be much higher for Pennsylvania businesses and individuals, since Pennsylvania has about 3 times the amount of nuclear plants in Pennsylvania than are located in New Jersey. Second, the report discusses testimony from a portion of stakeholders, for example, the nuclear industry, environmental advocates, and organized labor coalitions, but groups that serve as watchdogs to ensure that consumer and taxpayer costs and interests are considered by the legislature, for example, the Pennsylvania Energy Consumer Alliance, Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association, AARP, and others, were not invited to testify before the caucus. By not inviting these groups, the caucus omitted key stakeholder groups that have different perspectives about the potential costs and pitfalls of saving the nuclear industry. They also offer information about the impact on their members, businesses, and individuals. Third, the report relies on a Brattle Group study to support the assertion that nuclear generators moderate electricity prices, thus providing $788 million in reductions to the energy costs of Pennsylvania's consumers. However, that study assumes that there is no replacement of the retiring nuclear capacity with new generation. Within the last 3 years, sufficient natural gas generation has been constructed or is under construction to match the entire Pennsylvania nuclear fleet, including those that are not retiring, and those are Susquehanna, Peach Bottom, and Limerick. In December 2018 alone, Tenaska is scheduled to begin operation of a 925 megawatt plant in Westmoreland County. 4th, the report summarily dismisses the fact that consumers already paid $10 billion for stranded costs to the generation owners, without recognizing that those subsidies were calculated over the expected lifetime of the project. Once those payments were made, ratepayers were not expected to bear the financial risk that the plants could close. Providing additional ratepayer subsidies is reneging on that bargain. Fifth, nuclear plants are not prematurely retiring. They are retiring because they cannot compete in the market. This is a natural effect of competitive market forces. Non-competitive fuel sources should retire from the market while stronger sources prevail. Any attempt to interfere with those natural market sources will interfere with price signals and thus impact current and future investment in replacement generation. Sixth, the report makes errant assumptions, for example, assuming that all Pennsylvania nuclear generators will retire. And it misstates PJM's conclusion in its fuel security study, which is still ongoing. We will continue to review this report and provide further updates on it. We will also be monitoring what occurs in state government beginning January 2019 on this subject. If you have any questions or are interested in getting involved in this issue, please contact us. Thank you.